Creatures presents.
Fasten your seatbelt. It's going to be a bumpy night.
It's time to pump it up. It's time to move it to you. It's time to make you move.
Now, it is time to play.
And throughout that, I had the most amazing month of my life. And we wrote some great songs. And the last week, because before we knew, everything kind of all happened by the time we got over there. I'd been sending unanswered emails for months, and no one would reply. And as soon as I got there, everything kind of took off, and people started calling me and said, "Come in for a meeting," and this and that. So we actually, the last week, we had booked in a songwriter's course with a guy called Daryl Scott, who had written, someone told me once that he's actually had more #1 hits. He was a hit songwriter. He had more #1 hits than Elvis.
Oh, no, that's not possible.
Yeah, I know.
Not
possible.
Not Elvis.
So,
not the king.
Well, he's actually written like "Long Time Gone" for the Big 60. And all he's amazing. Like, he's got this catalogue of hit songs which would blow your mind. And because I didn't know who he was, and when I realised that my partner actually Michael said to me, "Look, I've got this great songwriting course that I would really like to go to. Did you want to come?" And as soon as I looked up on the internet and I seen all these amazing things that this guy had done, I go, "Oh, yes, I'm there.
I'm going."
Yeah. So then we also had Mary Grace Day, who had written a lot of songs for Alan Jackson and a few other people. And actually Bill Chambers recorded one of her songs over here. And out of the whole trip time in Nashville, the last week was when everything clicked. Like, I learned so much, and I listened. I'm always really open to what people have to suggest. But the last week, everything kind of just actually, it was more the last day. And I just go, wow, this is what everyone's been trying to tell me. Yeah, it's really weird. It just all kind of clicked on the last day for me, and I come home. And from that day on, I've really known exactly where I'm going and what I want to do and exactly who I am. I'm a bit quirky. Like, my songs are kind of country and kind of pop and kind of this and kind of that. That I just want to write a song. I don't really care what category it fits in. And I've been waiting for people to tell me what category I am, because that's the way I've always done it. But when I was in Nashville, I really realised who I was, and you know, I now stand my ground, and I know exactly who I am, and you can't tell me otherwise.
Well, that's fabulous.
Well, you must be country, Katrina, because a song that you and Michael wrote called "Outlaw" has been released by Dan Murphy.
Yes, well, Dan Murphy is a good friend of ours from Gunnedah, which is the town that I'm from. And we used to go to this town called Mount Isa.
Oh,
yeah, just a little place.
Yeah. Every time we go up to Mount Isa, we have a ball. We actually get stuck in this motel room because we don't have a car and it's too hot to walk.
It is too.
So what we did is Michael, my boyfriend, produced Dan Murphy's album. And we were sitting in this motel room, and Michael was playing the guitar, and I said, "Oh my gosh, like, that sounds like a song that Dan would sing." So we wrote "Outlaw" for Dan. In mind, Dan, we actually wrote it for Dan. And as soon as he heard it, he goes, "Oh, I love that. That's so cool." So, yeah, I think, as I said, I just want to write good songs. I don't really mind what genre it is. No matter what I write, it's always going to be true to who I am, and I'm not lying. I'm telling the truth. Yeah. So I think that's the main thing that's most important to me at the moment.
As long as your public enjoys it, it doesn't matter what genre it is, you just go for it.
Well, if the public enjoy it, that's a plus, isn't it?
That's what you've got to have, hey?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And it sounds like Michael got a lot out of that month too, did he?
Yeah. You know, Michael, since we've been home, Michael hasn't stopped. He's been doing more production work. Because he's only a young and up-and-coming producer, it's kind of hard for people to put their trust in you because they don't know. You don't have a big body of work or accolades.
That's right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But since I've been home, I actually as a part of my APRA grant, I've put some money to go towards an album I'm actually working on at the moment, and it's almost finished. In about February, we'll be mixing it. So it's coming on, it's sounding really good, and Michael is actually producing it for me. And when I first decided I wanted Michael to do it, I was a bit worried because people would think, oh yeah, she's getting a boyfriend to do it and this and that, rah, rah, rah. And, but we went into the studio and did a couple of days doing all the band tracks. And when I walked out of the studio after that, I had no doubt in my mind that Michael was the man for the job, because he just knows exactly what I'm trying to say and how I hear it in my head. He takes what I'm trying to explain it, because I'm not the best at explaining, and especially the barrier between the women and men.
Yes.
Now, hang on a minute.
I know
Kevin,
all
Kevin,
about
now's the
that.
time to get in to ask a question. She stopped. She stopped talking.
Don't take any notice, Katrina.
Question, Katrina.
Katrina's interview it is.
Are you one of these people who can sit down and very quickly write a song, or does it take a bit of time? You know, do you have to plan it? Or are you one of these people who wake up in the middle of the night with an idea and have to write it down, or how do you go about doing it?
Well, there's no set way for me. I've had everything happen to me. Like, I noticed my first song when I realised that I was a serious songwriter. I was 15 years old. It was like when I wrote my first true Katrina Burgoyne song. And I was 15, and I just sat down and I just had these pictures in my head, just like a movie or just like a film clip. And I just wrote this song in about 20 minutes, and I didn't change it, didn't touch it. And I won all these awards for that song. And awards don't really mean anything. It doesn't mean that you're great, or it's all personal opinion. That's the good thing about music, is that you can't really judge who's better and who's not better. But that was when I discovered that I was a serious writer. But I was coming home from a gig, and this chorus just flashed in my head, and I had to pull over, get my phone out, and just sing into what I could. And I couldn't wait to get home. Like, I was so anxious to get home and write this song. So it's all, but you know, I actually was just looking through videotapes of me the other day, because I have this little tiny video recorder, which I actually do on my YouTube vlogs on it. It's tiny, it's tinier than my phone. And I had it when I was writing a song one day, so I turned it on and I wrote this song called Jessica, which is actually available to watch on my YouTube page. It's www.youtube.com/Katrina Burgoyne. And Jessica, I think it has, I had a look at it today, and it's had over 2,000 hits. I put it up last week. So I listened to that the other day, and it took me about 3 weeks to get all the lyrics right in that song, because I would change it all the time and edit it. And it probably takes me a couple of weeks to write it, to completely be happy and finish the song.
And the one that you wrote in 20 minutes, what was that called?
It was called Second Gear.
Second Gear. Oh,
yeah.
right. And
Yeah, that's the one you performed for Kerry Ann, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Yeah, that's actually on it. Yeah. Yeah.
So Kerry Ann Kennelly, you'd been you performed on there too. And how was Kerry Ann, by the way?
Was.
Yeah, she was lovely. Yeah, she was great. It was quite a few years ago now. I was still in high school. It was 2005.
Oh.
I had the opportunity to go in there and sing. I just had the guitar and played myself, and she was really lovely. And you know, what girl doesn't like to go and get all dolled up and have other people do your makeup and your hair for you?
That's right. Well, Kerry Ann's from Sandgate anyway, so she's from around the ridges here, so I don't think she's forgotten her roots, no.
Yeah, no, that's good.
That's great.
Thank you very much. Well, thank you so much for having me, guys. My name's Katrina Burgoyne.